Hey bud, here is your Loud Mouth Pitbull 2x4. 2x4 at all 2879s. Whew. If you ask me, it's a little bit too much of a driver. I'm not the biggest fan of 2x4s. Well, I'm not the biggest fan of them not being, I guess, explained how to run a little better. I'm definitely not a big fan of 2x4s with all 2879s, especially being Toshibas. What we're gonna do, okay, you got a blown transistor right here. Okay, the same lot transistors over here in the driver's section. You got a dot and a non-dot. Okay, what I want to do is, this right here is the same lot as all them. I'm going to take that out right there, move it over here. Then we're going to change this right here to just a one pill section, driving 4. This is a high wrap box. We're looking at a 4-4 wrap. I'm going to have to retune after that. There's not even a capacitor on the output of this, but there's a capacitor on the input. That's kind of unique. Let's see, you got an 82 load right here and an 82 load right there. The input's blown right there. The balance resistor right there, and you can tell somebody tried to replace it and it just blew again. And that's when they probably knew something was truly wrong. That's one thing a person will do, man. I remember, I'll never forget when I did that to one of my boxes a long time ago. I fried the balancing resistor right here. And the first thing I want to do is replace it, thinking once I replace it, it'll be okay. But it's blowing because of an issue. That's not the actual issue itself. That's a result of an issue. But I'm gonna try to keep the box stock. I ain't gonna try to get in here and redo the whole configuration of everything. Alright, the next issue I see is down here where the power wires are. I'm not a super big fan of how the power distribution is in this amplifier. The way the hot bus is, I probably would have come in with 2 8 gauges, or at least brought that power wire and set it right here in the middle. But there's a burn spot right down here. Let me see if I can zoom down in there. A little burnt spot down here, which I don't know, it could have been done when the box was built, but it's the phenolic, it looks like it's burnt. But here is a problem. You see this trace right here that's etched? This right here is carrying the RF on down to the relay. But here's the problem. Look at this. See that? I just snapped it that easy, which I was going to snap it anyway. I'm going to have to repair this trace right here, make it a little thicker. I may redo the power wires on this thing. I'm thinking about it, but it's just the way the board's traced. You get the power wires going directly over the RF. I'm not a big fan of that at all. But it's just the way the box is set up.
I checked those clothes while ago and they weren't dry yet, so give a chance to check them when you go in.
Let's see, we got a 33 load on the output. Man, that's low. I'm gonna make sure the box is tuned up well. 33 looks a little low, man, but this is a different type configuration than I normally build with, which is a high wrap. We got a 7-7 on the combiners. So I mean that 33 might be good. I don't know. We got a 120 on the input tune. That looks like that could be good. And as I said, we got 282s on the output of the 2 section and the input of the 4. So I'm gonna take it one step at a time. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this over the 1 pill section. Bring this one over here and replace this blown pill over here. Go ahead and turn this into a 1 pill section. And then at that point I'm probably going to be do some retuning for sure. But one thing I might at least fix that issue over there. Because I mean that RF was traveling through paper. I mean just a super thin. All I had to do is take this right here, as you saw, which I was waiting to do this on camera, and just lift up on it and it broke. So it's just, they just etched it a little too small, that's all. But we'll get that figured out. Alright, we'll be back. Alrighty, Mr. Woods. Appreciate your patience, man, big time. Alright, brother, we got you all straightened out now. I gave you a call. I was actually having problems getting the driver section working, which was pretty crazy. Can only be so many things wrong with the driver section. Here, let me go ahead and open this up. I fixed your other box. And didn't make the video to this one. I should have made the video, and then so basically I finished the other box and made the video, and I'm coming back finishing the video to this one. So I got the parts that came out of your box right here. We got one transistor that's still good with HFE of 13, which you can have that back, or I can take off from the price of the build. These do not go in yours. That came out of a Texas Star. That one came out of Texas Star too. I think I had a walk-in and fixed the Texas Star real quick. Alright. All that did come out of yours. Okay. Just the output tuning caps. Some of the caps was on the driver section. Alright, man. You let me know that you wanted this to be a straight 4 high drive box. So I just took the driver section out. And I don't know where your input transformer is. Here's your parts. So I got your parts in 2 different bags. Good God almighty. I'll show you how much work I did. Let's go ahead and we'll consolidate this to one bag. Whenever I do a repair, all the bad parts, good parts, whatever customer don't want, whatever we work out, I'll put it all in one bag. You never know. Might want to build me an old, as Stickman used to call it, a barnyard build in the future. That's when you take all used parts and build your own self a build. That's how a builder gets to treat himself. He can use all used parts that he's gained out of repairs and stuff that he's bought from his customers. Or some of his customers give to him as gifts. And you can build yourself a little boneyard box, man. An amp built out of used parts that you can run yourself. Of course, you wouldn't do that for a customer. Just something you can run yourself. That's what old Stick used to do every once in a while. So anyway, that's all the parts that came out of the box. Yeah, I had to do a little bit of work to this thing, man. Oh, we got this thing tuned out and doing good now. I was trying to look to see what the tune came out to be on the output. I can't hardly see it over there, and I can't remember. But the input tuned out to 120 picofarad. There was an 82 right there. So it tuned out to 120. That got all the majority of the reflect out there off the input. And a couple of things I had to do. I showed you the issue back there with that strip. As you can see, I got a 16 gauge wire. It's now running to the relay for your output. See if you can see that right there. Okay. The there's going to be a good bit of labor to change these power wires. And I looked in there, and the power wires are fine. I don't know what's up with that burn spot on the phenolic, but they are, you know, they're nowhere near touching each other or anything like that, so they're good to go. So yeah, we got your output. Instead of trying to fix that trace, we just got your output going along the same trace, but with wire over to your relay. Okay, and instead of the way the mini coax going to the driver section was coming around this direction, instead of trying to go that big long direction, I got it coming off the relay right here. So you got your shortest direction to the input. I modified the board down there a little bit, helped me get my trimmers on there. Sometimes I kind of modify the board or something to help me get trimmers, because when you sit there and put your trimmers on something that's hanging in the air, sometimes it's hard to sit there and tune it out because the trimmer's bending and trying to touch the board or something. I like my trimmers being stationary while I'm tuning a box. So moved that transistor over here, the non-dot over here to where it was blown. Okay, these are two different lots. You got 9L, 9L, 6L, 9L, but they match. That 9L actually matches the other three, so that's good. And I think earlier I said they all were the same lot. I looked down there, you know, 6L, you turn that 6 upside down, it's a 9. It just looked like it at first glance. I cleaned the box up for you. It was kind of nasty up in here. I know that wasn't on the list to do, so I'm not going to charge you for it. Sometimes I just would rather have a clean box. You know, I cleaned up some of the solder for you. Had to run a new power wire from the hot bus over here. That's where your switch is being fed from. It's giving it to your relay over there. And let's see here. I went ahead and put your new balancing resistors on there. That's just what I call it. What did I say I was going to start calling them now? Because they're not truthfully balancing resistors. They're not like what you would call equalizing resistors. That's not what they're doing. They're there to let me know, or let you know when there's a problem. What was it I said I was going to call it? In the other video, I came up with something funny. U-bar or something. Unbalance indicating a resistor. There you go. Imbalance. Imbalance indicating, I see, imbalance, I want to say unbalance, you know, but I think it's imbalance. Indicating a resistor. So if the U-bar resistor is gone, or the U-bar's gone, nah, I'm just kidding, man. That ain't gonna stick. I think it's imbalance. That'd be imbalance. That'd be imbalance indicating resistor. That would be like if you want to do IBIR, A-bar. Let me get off that, man. It's kind of lame anyway. Anyway, we got a high wrap 4-pill here, okay? We got 4 and 4 on the wraps. So this box is going to take a little bit more power to get it going. You'll see that too in the video. The only thing about using these variables, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, this is a wire wound variable, okay? The only thing I've noticed myself when using these variables is they do work with the attenuation. The only thing about them I've noticed a lot of times is once you begin to go down with them, because of the wire wound effect, I guess, it throws the inductance off of the circuit, and you will see reflect come in on your input. And that's not what you want. You don't want to turn this thing down and have reflect rushing in, you know, being bounced back and forth from your radio in a box. You know, you don't want that. And that's what that was doing too. And I've seen it do that on a lot of other builds too. Alright, let's go ahead and rush on through this. I got a lot of work to do. It's already about 3 o'clock in the morning. That's some unique output transformers right there, ain't it? Them things are big, man. Somebody made them themselves, but they're working. Some of these things you got to pick and choose, you know, get the box working. You ain't trying to break the bank. You know, if this was my box, I'd do a lot more to it, just because preference. That's all about preference. See, there's a difference of preference and getting a box working, you know. One last thing I noticed that I did do. This is your resistor for the fan. Don't laugh at it. I wanted to make sure that you had a proper resistor for this fan if you were running it on unregulated supply. Because the way they had the resistors set up was like this right here. Where are they? Here. I had these right here set up. Which by my calculation, that still is only 1 watt. In parallels, when the wattage is going to double. In series, it's not. As far as I understand that correctly. I think I do. So that's still only a 1 watt resistor. But even a 5 watt resistor was still getting pretty warm. Pretty warm. So I went ahead and put you a big whopping current limiting resistor on that fan, so you ain't gonna have no problems with that, bud. That fan is a pretty strong fan, so it should keep this box good and cool. Alright, we got the 1-pill driver hooked up, the old epoxy 1-pill, first build I ever done. This thing's about as ugly gets inside, but it works. That's all I care about. We're on the unregulated 100 amp supply, and I got it on the medium tap, which I don't know why I do. I shouldn't even have it on the medium tap. I should have it on the high, but this is the way I like to do my videos. I like to slowly creep my way up so you can see a variety range of how the box is going to operate. So I'm not just showing you one set of amperage, one set of voltage. I'm showing you multiple steps so you can kind of see a range of where it should be operating when you get it on your system. And I haven't really had many people come back to me saying, "Hey man, my box is doing this on mine, but it ain't on yours." Well, see, that's the problem you'll have. If I showed you just on the highest tap, the highest drive, or something like that, it's going to get to your house and probably ain't going to be doing that because you ain't got a comp tune radio, and you're going to be upset. You'll be like, "Hold on now, it ain't doing what it did in the video." That's why I like to show a range. Start off slow and work your way up. So we're starting off with the 4-watt radio, which we're going to be putting about 18 to 20 watts. My battery did not die just then, but for some reason something popped up and stopped it. Anyway. Alright. We got the Pitbull turned off. The 1-pill driver. 1000 watt slug. Ooh, about 30-40 RMS. Ooh, about 90 peak. The driver is on 14.4 volts. Okay. Alright, we're going to go ahead and kick on the Pitbull. Alright, this is on the medium tap. She's going to be dropping to 15.3 volts. And see, if this was a 3-wrap, it would be pulling that supply down a lot more. That's because this thing needs a little bit more drive to get it going good. Alright, RMS. Here's what we're getting. Hey, what's this thing talking about? 200 bird? 200 bird? Input. Looks good. Here's your peak. Almost getting there right there about 600, ain't it? Almost getting right there about 600. Alright. And I will say this too. I know in the beginning of the video I said a 2x4 all 2879s is just ain't good at all. That's definitely true with the type of style of configuration that I normally build, which is more of a high Q style configuration. When you get them into the multiple wraps like this, the box can take a little bit more drive. So this is an old box. It might have lasted a long time with them 22879s, but the only problem is if somebody ever did drive that box with real good hot radio, my personal experience would have been too much. But these type style configurations usually can handle a little bit more drive. So, and that is an idea I may play around with. If somebody ever wants a 2x4 from me, I may. This is just for future. Because I'm kind of against 2x4s, because if they ran wrong, they always fail. I may play around with a little high wrap configuration on the 4-pill section. It's something I want to play around. That's what this thing's all about, experimenting. Alright. What we're going to do now. Okay, you see pretty much what that's doing on the medium tap, which is probably around 60 amps, 50, 60 amps maybe. We're going to go ahead and bump it up to the high tap. This thing can have 100 amps if it wants it. And we're still going to hit it with the medium radio. Excuse me. It's just so late, man. With the bench radio, the 4-watt RMS radio. Just for the heck of it. And then we'll go ahead and put the hot radio on there. Go. Starting to get it short in my mic because my radio's up under there and it stretches when I have to stretch it when I'm talking. Alright. I think the radio's done reset it or something, man. Sometimes if I press that Bluetooth, says the Bluetooth. Oh, alright. Alright. Oh, so it gained about 100 more watts on peak. RMS. Oh, gained about 80 watts. Alright, now let's hook up the hot radio. Let me press pause while I'm doing that. Alrighty, we got the Stickman modified Cobra 29 hooked up now. All we're doing is doubling our input power from 4 watts to 8. Okay? 4 watts to 8. And what's kind of cool about it with this particular amplifier is it's pretty much doubling our output power. Do the math when it comes to efficiency with that. Alright, RMS. Hot radio. Right there, 400 watts. Hey, what's this thing talking though when we're talking? About 380? 100 watt dead key about 380? Peak. A little over 700. Let's take a look at the drop. 16.7. You know what that shows me? The box still wants a little bit more drive. I wasn't planning on doing this. Don't want to go to the trouble of hooking up the old 2-pill 1446 box. I mean, it'd be kind of equivalent to the way it was, in a sense. But to me, the box is doing 380, 400 watts RMS. That's all I'm worried about. So it's a possibility this box might be running a little bit cooler. I mean, running a little bit cleaner. Sometimes that big peak, like them big peak watts that you're seeing, sometimes that just ain't real wattage. You want to look at the RMS. It'll never lie to you. And you know, it could be a couple of different things. The transformers. You know, while the next box is the 4-pill, could be doing over a kilowatt right now, and it usually would be. It usually would be. Oh boy. Should I hook up the 1446? I personally would run the box like you see it. I wouldn't hook no 2-pill up to it myself. But, I mean, I guess we could do a quick burp maybe. I might have to grab that thing down and hook it up to do that. Alrighty. I'll be back. Alright, once again, I will repeat, I do not recommend doing this. I do not recommend hooking this 2-pill up to this box like this and and talking on it and ragged you. I don't recommend doing this. We're just going to do this as a quick burp, as I like to say. And I got my headlamp on, don't I? Turn that dang thing off. Quick burp. I don't know what it's going to do. I ain't keyed it yet. Dead key. Dead key almost ain't high enough to key up that auto. See, this box has got an automatic SSB delay in it. This does. So it takes a little bit higher of a dead key sometimes. But it's keying it up. It's keying 200 watts. Okay. RMS. Go. That's 500. See what the voltage is dropping to now. Go. 16.1. God. This box just ain't pulling the amperage, man. That either means it's running a little bit more efficient, which to me, I think it may be. If you see how the power doubled when I doubled the input drive from 4 watts to 8, we doubled the output power RMS. And it kind of reminds me of the old Motorola 421 box I did, to where normally any other 5-pill, you know, a 3-wrap style, whatever, been pulling that supply down big time. But it was not. So that's what efficiency equals: less amperage, more power. Go. That's 500 watts. Go. 900 watts peak. Alrighty, well there she is. This thing seems to be pretty an efficient amplifier. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's see if the amp's pretty cool. I feel no heat whatsoever, which is always good. On the Uber resistors, no heat. Alright, brother. Well, there you go, man. I'm going to get all these parts back in the box. We'll get the top put on and some screws put in it. I hope I still have the screws, man. These take a little different screw than I normally use. We'll figure it out. Alright, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me for a little bit while I hook up this Pitbull 2x4 converted to a straight 4. High wrap 4-pill. Working pretty decent, I'd say, for what it is. No doubt about it. Old gatekeeper out here around the northeast end of Georgia, 73s. Rest in peace to my homeboy Stick Man. I know God's got you in his arms, my man. No doubt about that. The big man who sits on the circle of the universe. That's powerful right there. I don't care who you are. I'm gone now. 73rds. Bye-bye. Got something like this you want done? Holler at me. Peace.